Okay, so let's get started. Got the first video here today. Let me get that one up here on the video board for you guys. And it's a video about, let's see here. Video where JB's talking about he needs more money and he's coming to the realization that the federal government ain't going to give him any. And he's talking about our state legislature needing to give some more money to Let's Go Brandon. There's no shortage of need for money here in Chicago, believe me. So let's watch this video. He kind of talks about, and you read between the lines here because I think we're headed to a bad place, folks. We're headed to a bad place here in Illinois, and our finances, as we all know, aren't great, and things are starting to pile up. That's kind of my analysis of what's going on.
In crisis now, Governor J.B. Pritzker answering questions today about what the state can do to thwart the continued flow of buses and planes that have now brought more than 30,000 migrants here in the past year. NBC5 investigates. Bennett Haberly spoke with the governor about that and the need for more federal aid.
At the city's landing zone, there are more than 300 people waiting to find a spot in a temporary shelter. The lack of space has forced migrants arriving at Chicago to sleep on city buses.
So here you go. In the last probably last 5 days, they've been using these warming buses. The temperature, we got a little bit of snow, a dusting of snow last night. It's 33 degrees right now. We're expecting more snow today and tonight, and supposed to be 5 degrees by Sunday. So living on a bus is probably not preferred or suggested. Why they don't just move these people to City Hall, right? I think Brandon's got a nice warm office he could fit a few people into, but they're using these buses, and I don't know, and they're saying the people aren't showering, and later on in one of these videos, we have a lady says that she saw a kid without shoes.
Or utilize warming tents.
This is a cheap political stunt perpetuated by...
It may be a cheap political stunt. I don't think it's cheap. It's expensive to rent a 777 and have it flown to Rockford with 300 people. What we have here is a failure to plan, folks. Brandon Johnson did not have a plan. Lori Lightfoot did not have a plan. J.B. Pritzker does not have a plan. J.B. basically signed us up for being a sanctuary state when he came into office. He signed a bill that let out all the crooks. He signed a bill saying you can't house non-citizens in any type of jail in our state. So he enacted that law, and now he's being overrun by them. So be careful of what you do, because you may have to live in that house of glass that you built. And there's where JB is at.
a governor, perpetrated rather by a governor in Texas who is simply trying to...
So easy to blame someone else, folks. We need accountability brought back. The culture of the United States the last couple of years has shifted away from accountability. Today, no one is accountable for anything. And I said in the last video that I did, 80% of people's problems are caused by themselves. Let me say that one more time. 80% of people's problems can be traced back to their own bad decisions and actions. So as we go through this, think about that.
Score points.
Speaking at a news conference, Governor J.B. Pritzker blamed Texas Governor Greg Abbott for continuing to direct migrants towards major U.S. cities, while acknowledging that progress is being made here. A new shelter at a former CVS in Little Village.
So here you go. They got another shelter up at the CVS in Little Village. This may clear out the buses, but going back to my comment that there's not a plan. Just throwing up a tent when you have a bus that's filled doesn't solve anything. They said this tent may hold 200 people. Guess what? Governor Abbott's sending more. He's going to fill those buses back up for you, and now you're back to where you started.
Village open Wednesday that could house more than 200 people. But Chicago still has pain points. NBC5 Investigates found the city of Chicago alone has in the past year spent $156 million.
There you go, folks. Read it and weep. I think our state has spent just as much as this, and probably more.
$1 million in operating costs on migrants, including $96 million that's gone to Favorite Healthcare Staffing, a Kansas company that staffs.
Follow the money. Follow the money.
The city's migrant shelters. The governor said he was pessimistic that Congress would act to approve a bill that could provide additional aid.
Short of that, are the state and the city just
take this in your own life, folks. There is no one coming to save you. When you run up that credit card to the hilt and you lose your job, or your car breaks down, or this or that, no one is coming to save you. No one is coming to save you except yourself. So if you do yourself in somehow with your own problems, you have no one to blame but yourself. So we have no one to blame here but Brandon, Lori Lightfoot, and J.B. Pritzker. They've put Chicago and the state of Illinois into the situation that they are in. And this is the reason why people are leaving this state. Last year, 33,000 people left the state of Illinois. Fact, folks. Oh, I'm hyped up today, folks. I'm sorry, but this has gone on, and it's not getting any better. Let me tell you, it is not getting any better. It's just getting worse, and it's going to continue to get worse. So stay tuned. If at some point we get tired of watching this stuff, but at this point, hey, you get what you deserve.
left to foot the bill until then?
Yes, and philanthropy. Yeah, I mean, we're doing the best we can with the resources we have.
Pritzker said he'd like to see state lawmakers in Springfield approve a supplemental spending measure that could help backfill the $160 million the state steered to the migrant crisis in the city. He also hinted, without sharing details, that there are efforts underway to deter more planes with migrants from arriving in Illinois. In Chicago, Bennett Haberly, NBC5 News.
So there you have it. That's an interesting video there.
Want a lawn that looks like this?
I'm not sure what they can do, but they're kind of, Channel 5's insinuating that the state of Illinois, and if not the city of Illinois, whoever leases these planes to Governor Abbott, that they're going to put some handcuffs on those companies so they can't do that. So I don't know who's leasing these planes, and even the buses, although I suspect the buses are harder for them to put their handcuffs around. But some of these large companies maybe have Illinois contracts or be part of an airline that is in Illinois, such as United Airlines or American, and they may kind of put the screws to these companies, saying, "Hey, if you continue to do this, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z." So that's how the game is played there. So comment down below what you think should be done in Illinois. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess, and we keep bringing it here. So here's the city's plan. They call it a plan. I think it's a lack of a plan to keep the migrants warm. And at the very end is the sad reality that we got kids out there without shoes, and their parents should be strung up. They really should, if that's the case.
Hey, good morning, guys. Now, Chicagoland has already seen one winter storm this week. Another one is headed this way, bringing in some very cold temperatures in a couple of days. And right now we have migrants staying in buses here in South Loop. And volunteers are saying that they are hoping more assistance will be made available for these people as they prepare for the cold. We know that there are more than 14,000 migrants here in Chicago with 27 active shelters available. More than 300 others are in these city's 8.
His numbers are low, folks. I don't know where he got those numbers at, but those are way low. It's more like 27 at this point.
Buses near the corner of Des Plaines and Polk here in the South Loop. But this week, a new state-supported shelter was announced. It's located in the old CVS near the corner of 27th and Pulaski in Little Village.
And let's talk about this. They have no way of tracking how many except the ones that show up at the drop zone here. Yesterday, we drove probably 40 miles along the metro tracks here in the northwest suburbs. Did not see any buses. Did not see any migrants. But as I said before, the buses usually drop them off midnight to 6 in the morning and tell them to get on the train, give them a ticket, and tell them to head downtown. And the landing zone here is just, a couple of blocks south of the metro station. So, it's hard for the city to keep track. They're just going to get a new stream of people. They don't know if it's one bus, two buses, three buses. But I've been told in the media that at least 3 to 4 buses a day right now, and it could ramp up as things as things get worse on the border and they try to let people go from these camps down there. They got to go somewhere. And a lot of these crazy people think that coming to Chicago is the answer to their problems. And that's just a bad decision.
Now, this shelter is part of the governor's additional $160 million investment through the Illinois Department.
$160, and they actually have the audacity to call it an investment. It's not an investment, folks. If you've been following my channel, at all, you know that it's not. What we're doing is not an investment. It's this. Yeah, we're doing nothing more than flushing those dollars down the toilet, folks. So if you're a taxpayer, state of Illinois, city of Chicago, or even federal, this is what's happening to your hard-earned tax dollars that you pay. That is what our politicians are doing at every level, at every scale. Yep, there you go. That's all I got to say. It is not an investment in anything.
Department of Human Services, the state says the new shelter offers sleeping spaces, meals, hygiene facilities, and wraparound services. This could alleviate the pressure of the CTA buses. Meanwhile, volunteers we spoke with are saying they want to pitch in to help in any way possible to keep these migrants out of the bitter cold.
I'm sure people are collecting blankets and coats and things to come back out here because there are just standing in the line serving food. I noticed children without shoes, children in sweatshirts, and it's cold, and you're bundled up, I'm bundled up, and it's cold out here.
Yeah, and the state-ran shelter is now open and is welcoming around 200 migrants into that area in Little Village. Of course, we're going to...
Enough room for 200. We've got at least 500 in the buses behind them. Do the math, folks. Do the math.
Keep you updated as we receive more information on this situation. For now, we're live here in South Loop. I'm Glenn Marshall, WGN News.
So there you go. There you go. There is my update. There is my update for you. There is my update. Comment down below what you think of all of this. I mean, if you're in California or Florida, you're probably just laughing at this. You really are. It's and I talked to somebody that lives in Logan Square in the city of Chicago, and this person takes the CTA Blue Line on a daily basis and the buses to get to work. She basically says she can see the unraveling of society in Chicago, and she's actually an immigrant herself from Poland, been here for probably 20, 30 years, and she says she can see the effects of what Brandon has done to the city of Chicago in the last year or whatever he's been in office. She's seeing it. She's a citizen utilizing the services of the city of Chicago, and she herself can see it. She says she sees migrants on the bus who don't speak English, having a hard time communicating with the bus drivers on where they want to go. It's sad, but it's what we deserve. It's what the people of Chicago voted for, and I'm not sure that they've changed their mind or they even have any idea how this all happened to them. I mean, this is a classic example of what you voted for just totally wrecks your life, and you have to realize that you need to be accountable for what you did if you voted for Brandon. Okay? And if you did not vote at all, you need to be accountable to that, because not voting at all is just as bad as voting for Brandon. Okay? That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. We need to hold people more accountable, and 2024 is going to be a tough year, folks. I hope you're ready for the roller coaster ride that is going to be 2024. Okay? Question for you. Do you remember the last time that the United States of America tried to take a president off the ballot? Okay? Google that. Google that. And I'm going to give you the answer now. The answer of that is right around when Abraham Lincoln was in office. Okay? And what happened after that? There was a civil war, folks. There was a civil war. So there you go. History has a tendency to repeat. Go back and look about when the last time it was that they removed people from ballots in our history. It goes back to Abraham Lincoln. Okay, I'm just here to tell you that. Facts. Facts. What are they trying to do right now? There you go. So I'm done today. I'm done. Not a lot of happy news. A lot of bad stuff. A lot of truths for you guys. Truths. This is all truth. We're not making this stuff up. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Comment below. It does matter, folks. I love to hear your comments. And there's a lot of patriots out there. Check out some of the videos I just dropped. I got some interviews that I did. Did a great interview with a gentleman who left Illinois recently, like 6 months ago, for Florida. And we also did an interview with Paint the Trump. Okay, he's a patriot. We got a great interview there with those two folks. Check it out. Land Cruiser interviews just released the last week or so. Over and out, DJ Wonder Chrissy. See ya.